Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In the video we're gonna be going over all the books that I want to read this month. Keep in mind that some of those books might change and I might open up space for some other books that might come up just like last minute. So it's not a very strict TBR list. I'm obsessed with this sweater. It's from Shop Hope's boutique. I'll be linking them down below. By the way, if you're new here, my name is Karen and I do a lot of fashion, books, lifestyle content. If any of that is of interest to you, make sure to hit the subscribe button. Now let's get right into the video. I have about 8 or 9 books in this TBR and I'm probably gonna make space for like 2 more books because last month I read about 9 books and that's pretty realistic, so I want to make my TBR of 10 books. Although keep in mind I won't be mentioning 10 books in this video because I do want to leave some space for whatever books I might want to read last minute that I buy on a book, you know, shopping vlog or something like that. The very first book that I want to read this month is Where the Crowd Sang by Delia Owens. This book has been in my TBR for so long and I actually read kind of a big chunk of this book, but now I have to start from the beginning because I don't remember. So I'm like 70 pages into this book. I picked up this book a long time ago. Like I've had this book since like I think last summer or the summer before that. But it's embarrassing how long I've had this book and I didn't get into it at all when I first got it, but it's being turned into a movie and the movie trailer looks super interesting. It's with Stacey Edgar Jones and I really like her as an actress and I really want to watch the movie, but first I want to read the book. So we're gonna be reading this. I think I'm actually gonna start this today and maybe I'll do a reading vlog about it, we'll see. This is the very first book that is in my TBR. The next book that's in my TBR is Love and Gelato by Jenna Evans Welsh. This is a series. I think this is 1 of 3 books. I'm not loving this book so far, so I'm probably not going to continue to purchase the entire series. I'm almost done with it, as you can see, and we're gonna be finishing in March even though we're gonna be finishing in April even though we started this book in March. So that's on my TBR. This is second book. I'm not gonna go into detail about what the books are about too much because I don't think you guys need to know that because we always talk about that at the very end of the month. Then I have this on my TBR. You might think I'm crazy because this is a classic, Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen. Jane Austen is very hard to read, honestly. I'm kind of an amateur reader. Like I'm not, you know, a big reader when it comes to like classics and stuff like that. So this is gonna be a challenge, but I do have a goal where I want to read at least 1 classic a month starting this month, so we'll see if I can stick to that. I will be so proud of myself if I can actually read this. I'm like 10 pages in and it's hard to get into, but it's on my TBR. Hold me accountable, you guys. I want to read this book this month. Let me know down in the comments if you're, you know, one of those classic readers and you read all those classic books, and tell me if you read Jane Austen before. I would love to hear your thoughts about her. Next we have a book that rolled over from my TBR from last month that I never got to. This is by where is it? Oh, Mona Awad. I think that's how you say her name. I'm sorry if I'm saying that wrong. This book, I think I saw Haley Pham reading this, and apparently it's one of those books that like leaves you thinking at the very end because it makes no sense, and I kind of need that this month. So we're gonna be reading this. This is a horror book. It will be my first horror book. It is now YA, so I've also heard it's not like super creepy. So I'm excited for this one. Hopefully I read it this month. We'll see. Then we have the second book of a Good Girl's Guide to Murder series. I like the first book a lot, so I added this to my TBR. I haven't started it yet, but I want to read this month, and then we get the 4th one, the 3rd one if I'm really into it. But this is the next book. I have a book that I really been wanting to reread, and I've been kind of like enjoying just like laying outside, sitting outside, you know, in the sun and stuff like that, even though the weather today it's just absolute crap, super cloudy. But I've been wanting to read Beach Read by Emily Henry. This was one of those books that like, got me into reading and even made me want to take this direction in my channel, so it's like a very important book for me. I love this romance so much. It's one of my favorite romances since we're like, I don't know, in like spring, almost summer. I really want to reread this book. I'm adding it to my TBR this month. I know I'm crazy that there's a lot of new books I could read, but I've been really meaning to reread Beach Read by Emily Henry. If you haven't read this book, you have to. book that I've had for a very long time. It was one of the first books I bought when I did like book shopping hauls and stuff like that, and that is Then She Was Gone by Lisa Jewell. I know she's a big thriller author and I've never read anything by her, and she's one of those like really popular authors within the genre, so I really want to read this, add a little bit of mystery to the month, so we're gonna be reading this as well. And then the very last book that I have on my TBR for now is Good Girl Complex by Elle Kennedy. Kennedy is the author of one of my favorite book series of all time, and that is the Elf Campus series. And yeah, I want to read something else by her, and I picked up this standalone book. Very excited. It's also kind of like set in a beach setting, and I need that because I need to get in the summer mood, even though it's like cloudy and 70 degrees here in California right now, or 60 even. This book can definitely get me in the summer mood. So this is the last book that I have in my TBR for this month. So we have a lot of books that I can pick up. These are a few of them, but those are all the books that I have for now. I will be leaving some space so I can read maybe 2 more books that are not, you know, on my TBR for the month. But I think I'm gonna go ahead and move this TBR to the side of my bed and leave some in my office just so I can have them in a specific place and I remind myself to read them. Also, somebody commented on one of my videos that they wanted a tour of my book wall. They wanted to know all the books that I have on there. So if that's something that you might be interested in, let me know that in the comments. I would love to make a video like that. It sounds kind of fun, but not if there's not like enough people that want to watch it. That was only like one person that said that, but let me know that in the comments. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really appreciate you guys. Make sure to hit the subscribe button and hold me accountable for all the books I said I was gonna read this month. See you next video.